Check, check. Welcome in, guys. I have a feeling because markets are closed, or are they closed tomorrow? Or banks are closed. Might be a small class. We'll see if we can do this tonight, but if not, we will see. But I'll give it a couple more minutes, one more server ping. We'll see who rolls in here. But if you guys want to do some charting tonight, we will. If no one shows up, we will push it to another night. But we shall see. Yeah, Mons, we'll take a look at Microsoft for sure. 550, or excuse me, 505. Let me write that down. 505 strike and expires. That's like 2 weeks, right? The 30th. Yeah, we'll definitely take a look at that. King, what up, man? I see you in Trade Floor and Pro a lot. Glad to have you in here. Probably going to be a small class. I didn't do a 1 hour before server ping, and it's also, like I said, I think markets are closed tomorrow, or at least markets might be open, but money's not settled tomorrow. So whatever money you guys used on Friday will not settle tomorrow. So it might be a small class, but that could be okay if we want to deep dive into some stuff. So yeah, markets are closed. I wonder if I should have done this scan on Tuesday. I didn't really think about that. I'm sorry, guys. But if you guys are going to put the time in tonight, I will do it with you guys as well. If you want to stick around for an hour, we can chart anything and everything if you guys want to. So if you guys are going to put the time in, I will as well. But apologies, probably not the best timing on that. But yeah, if you guys got some requests, definitely put them in. Let me know. Like Mons did, if you guys are in something, you're like, hey, I'm in this, I'm red. Should I have cut here? Where should I cut? Or if you're in something, hey, I'm looking to get in. Let me know what you guys are thinking. We can definitely try and find a setup as well for sure. All right, 5:04 my time. One more server ping. We'll see who rolls in. Like I said, probably a small class. No big deal. It happens. We'll roll what we got, but give me 1 second here. All right, y'all. With a few of you guys that are here, for sure. Definitely. We got Microsoft. Let me check the chat. Cool. Just here to listen. That's all good. Lee Andrew. I think I'm saying that correctly. KO. Love that name. Looking at 71 call. Yeah, we'll definitely take a look at that together for sure. All right, guys, welcome in. My name is StartedWith. I'm one of the staff members here. Been here a few years, 4 or 5 years. Glad to have you guys in here, whether you're new or first class tonight or been here several times. We're glad you guys are here for sure. But right now, like I said, market's a little bit closed. So as far as charts update and stuff like that, I'm going to quickly just kind of show you guys what I'm looking at here, and then we'll dive into your guys' watch list that you guys are requesting. So backslash, excuse me, can't talk, ES mini futures. We're gapping down below this Wednesday level here. So that's what we're going to focus on a little bit tonight. We're going to focus on that zone in here. I can back and forth jump between this and SPY and kind of give you guys a level of what we should be watching, what we ideally will be watching for. So like I said, as of now, we're below that last Wednesday. That was 3 trading days ago. That level now, we're at a significant gap down. I think it's probably because the new tariffs that are announced. The headline I seen was basically Trump is putting tariffs on countries that are not with him and not agreeing with the purchase of what is it, Greenland. And so the countries that are kind of pushing back on that, he's putting a tariff on that. I think it said until it is passed or until something about June or something. I have to reread it again, but we're gonna roll with that. So right now, I think there's a gap down just basically on base uncertainty in the market, and the market doesn't like uncertainty, so that's what we're looking at right now. So mute those mics really quick, and I think let's see, give you guys the ability to let's see. Yeah, so you guys are able to unmute if you'd like to. Yeah, so close my window real quick. So yeah, like I said, we're gapping down here below that Wednesday level. So if we focus on SPY, it's not going to show it right now. Like I said, because markets are closed, it'll reflect tomorrow most likely. But we're down below kind of this level here, this zone here. So that honestly, that makes it kind of easy for my teaching tonight. Kind of want to show you guys tonight as well. If we recall, last Sunday, we're on the zone here. I said, kind of watch this red line here, this zone here, and then push up to here, the next 2 or 3 resistance levels. And to me, when I look at SPY on the 1 hour chart right now, it's clear as day where we see our top range is rejecting 1, 2, 3, four different days and even more on the hourly chart where our top zone is. So if you guys are new to charting, and maybe just new to this group in general, if you want to, 695.3, to me, we're not getting hourly closes over that. We got one there and it smacked it down right back right away. And so that is my top until it's not. I'm treating that as my top, like I said, until it's not. 695.3. Again, when markets open on Tuesday, assuming we have no big movement in between here and now, we're going to be opening down the 686 zone. If we zoom out here, so let's focus on this green shaded area. I'm going to zoom out to like the 4-hour chart just so we can see our intraday levels here. And I want to show you guys what we should be focused on here. And so I like to play tops and bottoms of big swings in the market. So big reactions in the market. And so that's basically finding our highs and lows when markets are pushing up, where they kind of stall out. When markets are pushing down, where do they bounce, and repeated price action, repeated setups, so to speak. And so for me, this 686 zone here, 686, we push, we kind of stall out, dip down a little bit, push up, we try to make another break for that upside level here. But ultimately, what do? We sell down, we come up, and we're retesting that level again. Fully engulf it, we push a little bit higher, back down to this zone again, battle down here, sell down, sell down. We get back up, we push up. What do? Retested that on the 14th last week, bounce again. And so, like I said, again, backslash right here. We're going to open near that zone there. So again, if we're just wrapping our heads and mind around that, focus on that for SPY, that's where we're going to open at, like I said, assuming nothing changes too much between here and Tuesday's open. We're opening around this zone here. So that's what I want you guys to focus on here just for this teaching tonight and charting tonight, because I know, like I said, didn't plan this very well. Markets are closed tomorrow, but we'll roll with it. So that's kind of what we're looking at, what we're focusing on. So my focus, any buybacks over 686 on Tuesday, I'm treating that as a buy opportunity for me. Newer traders, it's hard to you see sell down, sell down, sell down. It's like you want to just chase puts. You think the momentum's there, and it's like boom, you get caught in the late reaction down there, and then they bounce it up hard. So you never want to be caught in that. So that's kind of what I want you guys to focus on going into Tuesday. Is if we open around the 686, watch for. Let me see if I can find it here on like maybe a 15-minute or 30-minute chart. Let me zoom out here. Yeah, perfect example right here. So this zone here for Wednesday. Look what happens when we get down the 686 zone. Whether you call it, buyers kind of just, or excuse me, sellers just kind of laying off the gas, saying, okay, big support zone here. Let's kind of lay off it and just let buyers take their turn, whatever you want to call it. But you see all that selling pressure slow down, and look at all these wicks to the bottom side. Buyers stepping in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Doesn't get there. 7 candles on a 15-minute chart. Big buyback reactions when we get into the 686 zone here. So again, when we get into this zone on Tuesday, if we start seeing wicks like this on the top side, for me, if I were to learn a SPY trade, I don't want you guys getting short down here. Can we go more down here, below here? Absolutely. But to see, again, repeatable price action, stuff like that down into here, if we start seeing a candle body like this and a wick on the bottom side, a candle body like this, a wick on the bottom side, we have to say, okay, what is this candlestick telling us that, buyers started, or the candle opened here, sellers tried to take it down, they bought it back up immediately, and we got 2 back-to-back candles on whether it's a 30-minute chart, 15-minute chart, whatever it is. Buybacks are present there, and so we want to play the bounce. Okay, we sell through 686. What do? How do we play the short in that? Okay, if you guys are thinking that, good question. So we want to see a sell down, like a 15-minute close under. The next 15-minute candle attempts to buy back up, and where do? Where do they start rejecting? Support, flipped resistance right here at that zone. That's what we want to see on a retest zone right there. That's what we want to see right there. Sorry, I didn't. Let's see. View upon entry. Forgot to turn that on. It's all good, guys. I'm gonna mute your mics for now. No big deal. That's my bad. So that's what we want to see. Let me go to drawing mode. On a retest. Any questions around 686 if we open that tomorrow? So, Tuesday again. I got to wrap my head around that. So this is like a dirty river, kind of a scalp range here, meaning like bounces and sell-offs can happen anywhere in between here. We can see like a good kill candle down, but then they buy it back immediately and that may fake you out. So really, you know, a sell under 684.77, at least for me, is better confirmation on a bearish day. So right now, like I said, we're gonna gap around somewhere around here. Any buybacks around here for me, I'm looking for the buyback, slightly oversold intraday bounce try like that. Like I said, when I see this reaction here, all these wicks starting around 686, all that interest around there, that's what I want. That's what I want to see. So any questions on that before I get you guys the watch list? Right now, the watch list is pretty light. We got 16 people in here, which is great. Love to see it. Love to you guys see the dedication to that. But as of now, we are breaking this trend line, probably on that news that Trump has put on over the weekend. So funny how that works over the weekend, but we'll roll with it. So first on the watch list, Mons, you're still in here. Perfect. Feel free to unmute your mic. Anyone who has a request, keep it on topic. Oops, can't do two things at once. Sorry. I'm not quite sure we're going to open here, but we'll just play the chart with what we have here. But back on the daily, let's see. You have a call option for 505, a little bit out of the money. Yep. Let's see. Trading was at 480. So don't like to trade in hindsight, but I do see a big zone here. So Mons, just one thing, just a little teaching point here. So at least how I like to trade, you said, do you remember what day you entered? Feel free to unmute your mic if you want, or just type in the chat. What day in January or December did you enter at 480? Just so I can kind of help you out just for a little bit of a teaching moment. Early January, perfect. Thanks for being active in here. So let me just look at my charting here. So January, somewhere around here. So you entered around 40. So again, I'm on the 4-hour chart here. So I know it sold through this level here, but just some things to watch. When you see something like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. On the 11th day, it sells through. When you see something like this, where a clear top side of a range, again, I'm not trying to bash you too much here because you're still in it. I appreciate the honesty, but when you see, if you don't know what a range is something like this. So clear and defined tops, many days, many times, clear and defined bottoms over and over and over. When it finally breaks that range, that's where you should accept the loss, especially on a daily close under that. That's kind of what my bread and butter of teaching, how I like to trade you guys. When you see multiple touches like this, and then on that last day was on the 12th or 13th, they kind of sold under it, bought it back, and then a gap down or a hard sell on the 13th. That was probably maybe Monday last week. When they fully confirm this sell and they close below that, to me, that's where you want to just sell and take the loss. Or if it was something like maybe like a May or June contract, that's where you say, hey, we're selling through this zone here. I need to start hedging on some puts to the downside here to, if I want to hold those calls to the next support level, wherever that is, I'll find that for you in 1 second. That's where you want to start taking puts for a day trade on that and just not letting swings, bleed out, because, that's money tied up. Right now, it's an unrealized loss because you haven't sold, but you never want to hold those for a deep loss. So are you in? Let's see, think if cutting doesn't look good. Play the ER. Yeah. So that's the other thing. So as the earning creeps up here in basically 10 calendar days, as we inch into that, IV is going to increase. And so if you get the move you want, the next day you're still going to get a little bit of IV crush. And so what could possibly happen, there's going to be two scenarios, is we kind of trickle out here. We gap up on earnings, but you're still at a 5, would you say a 505 strike somewhere up here? So that earnings, or that IV crush is a real thing. So the IV is just going to rise. And then the day after earnings, this is after hours. So that next following day, you're going to get IV crush. So you're going to see a big move up, but your contracts may be worth less or even less than before we went into earnings. That's going to be IV crush. And so you have a big decision. I don't like to tell people to hold through earnings, especially if they have not taken profit yet. But let's take a look kind of here. Let's figure out kind of where we're stopping I'm going to slap a line here, kind of these lower wicks from last week, and we're just going to zoom out and kind of see where it stopped, if it makes sense to add to it. And I only want you to add to this position if it was truly a partial position. If you're in a full position, you're holding on a deep red. I don't love that. And ideally you cut probably this week. But let's zoom out here. Let's kind of see. Let's focus on this green line here. We're going to zoom out, zoom back in time. And honestly, there's a nice kind of a bounce zone here where it's starting to bounce and make sense. Let me check on the daily. This could be all-time high. So yeah, we're going back 10 years. So that green line. Yeah, so if we focus here on this green line here on the daily chart here. Again, it's not, why is that not in zoom mode? Come on. All right, it's not going to work for me. That's fine. So we're seeing the sell down here. The buybacks that failed, they sell it down. We're seeing that buyback there. When it's overhead, it rejected again. Consolidation breakout. So what's going to happen right here? This is decision time. Back to intraday chart here. That's what we want. As of now, 1, 2, 3 days, this level held. We've seen that on the daily. It totally makes sense. So I'm hesitant to say this, but if you're truly in a partial position, if we sell back down into here, you got 1, 2, 3, 4 tries. They hold this level here. You can take an average here, but ideally you want to get out before earnings come. And so you're taking an average here for a hopeful push up before earnings, because like I said, the IV crush is going to get you being a 505 strike or whatever you said. You don't want to be, to me, even if you hold through earnings, you're still not going to see profit anyway on this setup. Plain and simple, you're not going to see profits on this. But you can, if you have a partial position, add down here and get a push up into this previous bounce zone, which is going to be resistance on the way up. If you can move in this 470, I would just sell, take the loss, accept the loss, move on, and just move on from the trade. Didn't work. We're trying to catch the bottom on Netflix. It's not working as of now, and so that's just how it is. And so I don't want you to hold through earnings, because that's going to be an ugly, ugly thing for your portfolio. Definitely do not want that there. So hopefully that helps. If not, DMs are always open. Send me a DM. I'll be happy to help you. All right. Leandro, I think I'm saying that correctly. KO, let's check it out. Monster move, monster move. But this is my favorite zone on KO. I'm not just saying that because you're requesting it. 70.35 to 70.55. If you guys like this name, you need this name, or excuse me, you need this level on the chart. Let's check it on the daily. I'll just expand this chart best I can. Let's see, did not disable annotations for others. That's all right. That's my fault. I'm just screwing up everything. All right. There we go. Turn it off for you guys. Make sure you guys don't draw anything bad. All right, 70.55 to 70.35. So for me, let's see, you said you're looking at 71 call. For me, it's plain and simple. This level here, all this activity, bounces, 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 bounces. We're under it. What's happening? Rejections, 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 rejections. Bounces when it's underneath us, rejections overhead. So plain and simple, where do we close last week? So daily chart here. Basically, I don't know if you call that a doji, but to me, that's an indecision candle for me. Let me zoom way in here on the daily. Plain and simple, we're either buying the dip somewhere on sale down this like 69.86 or a 70.55 daily close over. We get daily closes over, we push a little bit. Does it hold? We don't know. Daily closes over, we push a little bit. Does it hold? Sometimes. So I need to see a breakout retest, similar to how we check stuff on 30-minute charts, 15-minute charts, 1-hour charts, breakout retest of that zone there. Who was it again? Sorry, I already forgot. Leandro, yes. So intraday look, let's take a look at it here, even though you want something with a little bit of time. Basically, look at that battle there. Fighting to break out, they sell it down. Fighting to break out, they get it, they sell it down. So we see clear, at least how I like to trade you guys, clear as day, This is where the action is focused, where all the volume is. So try and break out, smack it back down. They try and sell down, they buy it back up. So it's just a battle in here. It's basically indecision time. For me, anybody look at this chart, set an alert for the top side here. Wait for it to break out. Okay, you get the alert. You say, okay, we're over 70.55. Let's see if we get the breakout over previous day close. So we can take an entry here, absolutely. But should we be looking at this as a target? No, because smackdown, all this stuff here, recent price action. So we buy the dip here, 70.7. You're basically looking for a 15-cent move to at least trim there. Push up over, that's fine, but don't be taking this trade saying, okay, we broke over 755, looking for 71.17. We look left, we find previous targets on price movement there. So for me, this is just a waiting game for now. It's just a battle at this zone here. It's a very, very nice setup, a very, very nice request, but I just need that break over. Or we want to buy calls on sale, that's fine. Haven't talked about it yet. Look at these moving averages, yellow, green, and purple. Yellow is daily 200. Green, daily 20 moving average. 9, daily 9 moving average. So all those are stacked right here. Don't you think this is a pretty good buy-in zone right about here? 69.86 to 69.67. Nice zone there. Expand the chart, like, oh man, that's a big zone there. Well, what are we talking, like 20 cents here, 19 cents here? Not bad spot. So what you can do as well, at least I like to trade, I'm going to do it as well actually. Set alert for down here. We tag a previous support zone plus 3 moving averages. That is 4 forms of support right there. You don't think buyers are going to start kicking in there? Absolutely. So that's the spot to watch there for sure. Let's see, checking up on the chat here. Yeah. All right, I'm caught up on that. Yeah, so if you need more help on it, just send me a DM. I'll be happy to help you as well. But that's the zone there. That's my game plan. Very, very day tradable zone as well. Break under 70.35. You see the nice moves down. Sometimes they last, sometimes they don't, but very, very nice zone there as well for sure. All right, moving on. Josh, still near perfect. Yep, let's take a look at it. What's your bread and butter? SLV, I think, right, brother? Is this gonna, where are we at on this? Is this gonna show a gap up or gap down? Probably not.
Gap. Unfortunately, the move recently has been like too insane. I think I told you we got out. What was it? I think that around that peak there.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, they tried to sell it off on Thursday. It held on futures as well, and then they tried to sell it off Friday, same thing, and now we're seeing another gap up. That's why I mentioned gold, because it hasn't been seeing such crazy volatility. It's been
What?
gapping up, consolidating for a week, and then gapping up, so it's feeling a little bit safer, I guess, if you want to make the same bet on metals.
A little bit lagging, yeah. Do you know where it's at now? I don't, is there, I'm dumb.
I
Is
can
there,
pull up futures. Let me
but
see.
we can take a look either. I know these are your bread and butter, your big breadwinner this past year for sure, man. So um,
Yeah, we're probably going to be at around like the 435 level if the futures move holds,
oh shit.
somewhere around there.
All right. Are you let me see your comment. Are you already in these or just kind of peeking at this? You still got silver on, right?
No, I took an exit last week. Got a little too out of hand, I think.
Yeah, so if we're gapping, I mean that's probably like an all-time high gap, at least on gold, right?
Yeah,
So, damn.
gold, silver as well.
Damn. All right. Well, these are tricky, brother. I mean, I'd say, like I said, I know we go over this week after week, and like a couple weeks ago or many weeks ago, I still feel guilty on like, hey, telling you to wait, you know. So I would say follow your plan, man. It's been working with you week after week, month after month. Stick with it. I know we're gapping up. again, probably on the backside of that tariff news. So some fears in the market, some uncertainty. So um, where's silver at now? Do you know, or does it tell you?
Well, so I have to adjust for like the futures price. So I'm guessing somewhere on like 87, 88 equivalent on the ETF.
So that's not bad, dude. Honestly, I mean,
Yeah.
you know my bread and butter. So any back test of this previous high here, like I would smack that for sure because we see obviously this is probably charting from when you asked about as well. Like we push up, we back test these again. Previous high here. Here's our top. What do? We test it and it's a bottom. We test it, it's a bottom. What do? We go for more. Highs here, middle zone. We test it. We go for more. Highs are up here. We test it. We go for more. So if we're trading kind of up here on these futures, any back test in this 84 to 84.38, man, like I would smack that with confidence. If you've been, like I said, not to toot your own horn, but you've been on this for months on this, and so ride this wave, ride this momentum until it stops, until it says, hey, the sentiment is changing. The outlook is changing on it, but I would just ride that for sure. And any back test is 84 zone. And if we're talking about moving averages, you got your daily nine gonna be creeping up as well. So like this is a very good buyback. Just we're playing this like we did from a couple of weeks ago. Here's all-time highs, back test, go for more. So all-time highs, back test, go for more. I would just keep riding that, man. If you can, I mean, you like to trade those May June contracts. So if you want to scale in this week, you think the move is going to continue, maybe nibble, but then save that, like we talked in DMs, save that money for an average down that makes sense. But don't hold for deep red, hedge when you need to, trade against it when you need to. But yeah, if that moves hold, man, over 84, I mean, it's going. We're like, okay, it's done going, but it
Yeah,
just,
you look at your longer term moving averages and starts to get a little crazy.
yeah, I mean, it's getting a little extended, but like I said, I'm hesitant when I say, hey, wait, man, because I don't know when we talked, November, December, like, hey, wait for a pullback, and thankfully you stuck to your guns and you nibbled on it and you caught that move because it's like that pullback happened, but not right away. But it's
Yeah.
happening, man, for
That's
sure.
the thing with gold and silver for the last 2 years. They don't really pull back much. They tend to consolidate and then keep going up.
Yep. So yeah, as
So
long as that previous all time high holds, man, I think it's a buy. I think it's something to stick with. Like I said, you've been right on that with time, and just roll with it until that train stalls. Just keep going with it, man, for sure.
yeah. All right. Thank
All right,
you.
man. Yep. Let's talk more DMs this week. I want to see how that plays out for you, man.
All right.
King KTOS. Bunch of shares at 80. Looking to either set a stop loss on shares, play it safe, trim. Let's see. King, feel free to mute if you want. Make it quicker. Have you trimmed it all on this, brother or sister? I don't know who you are. Sorry, I shouldn't assume. Feel free to
Hey
mute your
man,
mic.
what's going
Yep. What's up,
on?
man?
So I haven't trimmed anything yet, and I've just been kind of looking for a point to trim, and
Yep.
I've been eyeing up calls, but every time I think about the calls, I feel like it's gonna stop on that run. Like I was worried it was gonna end up hitting a stop right there on that last previous high it had
Mm-hmm.
uh, about like a month ago or so, whatever that is over back there.
Right.
Um, so I was kind of waiting on that. Then it broke through, and I was like, okay, maybe I'll go for calls. And then I kind of was just hanging back and waiting, and it just keeps ripping. So I'm like, I don't really know if I should even trim yet or if I should just set a stop and just let it go kind of thing. I'm not too sure. I jumped
Well.
in on around the $95 range. I jumped in on a couple two times leverage of the shares to
Uh-huh.
still kind of play it safe and not jump in calls because I've been getting hosed recently on doing calls like swing
Mm-hmm.
trading. So I kind of tried to get away from that. But I just wanted to see what your opinion on if I should wait for a pullback to that previous high there before I do calls, or if I should just leave the shares and give it a day like that.
So I guess so. First question is, you kind of mentioned option contracts. Are you asking about the call position as well, or just the option?
Yes. Yeah, like if I should basically trim my profits on the shares and use that to jump in on calls for the
Well,
option.
so you're up what, 60%?
I'm up.
Yeah. So two, two,
Yeah, a
two.
lot.
Question number one is, Was it meant for a share flip or a long-term hold, meaning a multi-year hold? Like you love that it's going up, but you're not going to check it until you're 50 years old, or was
Uh,
this a
it
share flip?
was it was kind of more of a share flip style, but that was kind of more like a 6 month kind of hold thing. I did not expect it to run the way it did recently. So I was,
Mhm.
like I said, it was more of a 6 month to a year kind of plan, and it just ran. So now I'm just debating on keeping the shares and just doing a little trim and then jumping in on calls. I'm not too sure what to do because it just keeps ripping.
Yep. So you're up 60%. Are you going to be mad if it dips and you're only up 30%?
Not too much. I would say as long as I walk away with like 20%, I'd be more than happy with it.
Okay. So basically, if you're in at 80, let's see where 20% just fell. I always just ask, it's just a psychological thing to just ask you guys. So basically, 20% is coming back into this range here.
Okay, of
Their shares, give me 1 second here. I'm not going to tell you how to trade them.
course.
It's so, the money's there, but it's not your money because the money is still in the market. It's not your money
Exactly.
until you trim. And so you have to decide, for me, I'm not gonna let it come back to this like 95 zone and take 20%. For me, clear as day, I'm on the daily chart here. I this would
Yep,
be my
that zone.
stop. This would be my stop loss right here. So
Yeah.
it's a peak. We push up. We kind of not super convincingly engulf it, and we just keep going for more. We come back here. We see the buy stepping in. So if we kind of settle out here, I would set a hard stop at 112.59 basically. And so
Okay.
that's you don't have to sell all of them. You can just trim some, but like to me, you catch a move like this, you want to reward yourself. Like
Hmm.
even if it's you're like, hey, it was a 6 month or year flip, but it's like you got what you wanted out of it, and you're like, hey, I want to hold this for 6 months. But did you have a target in 6 months? Like we got the move in, the
Yeah.
month of January, and so you have to, and this goes for anybody. You guys have to reward yourself for a good play. Like it's I find it highly unlikely. I could be wrong, eat my own words, that I don't think it's just going to go up forever and never back test this level. Maybe it does.
Hmm.
I don't know, but like to me, I would not, catch this move. There's retracement. You see months of consolidation. You get the breakout and then go, hey, I'm going to give back 40%. Like to
Hmm.
me, I just don't trade like that. I reward myself because right now, like I said, how many months have you had this money tied up? Like,
Oh, a month, like whenever that 80
right,
$90 zone right there was, that was when I bought. It was couldn't have been. It definitely wasn't before the month of December. I know that. I've only been in
right.
it for probably maybe top 6 weeks.
Right. And whether you have one share or 1,000 or 10,000, like the money probably looks great, but it's like that. And same with the options, you guys. This is not your money until you sell. And so you're never going to catch the top and you're never going to snipe the bottom. But like the best
Hmm.
thing I always tell people to do, trim some profits, pat yourself on the back. At least for me, I'm looking at this chart clear as day. This is my stop loss right here. If we go back
Okay.
under, what do? You can reload. You can nibble back in this zone here. You may buy a little bit higher average if you still have that 80 average or whatever. But it's like
Hmm.
I would never let this move happen and let it trickle down and go, okay, it's going to bounce. Trickle down, it's going to bounce. And you're back here like, wait a minute, I just gave back all this big move. It's like
Yep.
to me that's just foolish and it's a little bit greedy. Like you have to reward yourself, and that money you make with profits. Say, I don't even know your position size. Maybe you made 150 bucks. Maybe you're going to make 5 grand on this, 10 grand. Like that is profit money. Put that money back
Hmm.
in and kind of keep a mental note of, okay, I made 100 bucks or 5,000, whatever it is on this. You know, we can sell down. You can see a little bit red on that new position, but you get the mindset of, okay, I made that money on this, so I'm playing the term playing with profits. That's a real thing for you. So
Hmm.
you just, I don't know. Maybe I'm probably too conservative of a trader, but like when I get a move like this, like I'm just like, man, this is probably all time highs. Like,
Yeah, I've
no,
definitely been thinking that, and I've been sitting there watching it run, and I'm like, man, I really should just get out soon, or at least take my trim some profits and be done. Then it just keeps ripping. And I'm like, because that's why I was interested in calls, possibly waiting for a pullback to that 112 zone somewhere around there. But I think I'm gonna
yeah,
go with what you were saying, definitely, and I'll probably end up trimming about because I'm up like $400 on shares in it, which
uh-huh,
for my port is huge. For other people's is probably nothing. But
yep. So, and
just
this
with
is
that, I was thinking about throwing it in the calls when it retraces back, maybe.
Yeah, and so this is a little thing. This is Bollinger Bands. It's just basically
Hmm.
it kind of tells us, hypothetically percent chances it closes outside of. Let me check this really quick. I think I got two standard deviations. Yeah. So the
Hmm.
probability every time it hits the red and the green line, it doesn't stay over that very long. It doesn't stay under that very long. So you buy your dips, you sell your rips, and look what we're doing. We're pressing this upper band 1, 2, 3 days in a row. To me, this tells me, and we're so far from the daily 9 moving average, which not everybody uses the nine, but like we're
Hmm.
14% off of the daily. Like this needs a breather. I know it's probably moving. Is this like a war stock or defense stuff?
Yeah,
Um,
it's drone defense. So as soon as the whole Venezuela thing happened, it just exploded
yep, yep. And see if
and
if
just
we
been
kind of get
going.
war news, it kind of peters out, gets quiet. It's like this could
Yeah.
have a -8% day. Like, well, shit, why didn't I sell? And so statistically, this says trim some profits, brother, for sure.
Okay. Yep, I'll be doing that. All right. Thank you, 1K.
Yep, for sure, man. And DMs are always open, man. We'll talk more about some options. I don't want to cut you off, but
Yeah, no, you gotta get to other people. I get it. Thank you.
yep. All right, we kind of looked at the silver a little bit. Errol, we got one CRWM Crown Mines. Let's take. Wait, am I
I
typing
think he
here?
meant CoreWeave 1K.
Which one is it? CR Core
WV.
CRWV. Oops, can't type. Where's the V? Right there. There we go. Yeah, 120. Nice call. Thank you, man. Let's see. Juan, are you in profit on this? Let's see. You're in expiring this week, a 120 call. Let me get these bands off here real quick. Are you still in here? You're still in here. Yep. Feel free to unmute if you want, or if you're shy, just type in the chat. So this is. Wait, is this really that new of a company? It is. So, because we got the daily 200 just now starting to form here. So 200 trading days, is that correct? Damn. Yeah, let me know. I mean, clear as day. I love coming back to stuff that we haven't looked at in a while. Coming back to this, it's our bottom here. You're in a 120. Man, that's pretty far out. I don't like that at all. I don't like that strike. But bottoms here, sell through. It's a top. It's a top. It's our top. It's our bottom. When we're over it, we retest it. Resistance is support. We're coming back. What is this now? Resistance with our 200-day moving average right here. And look where it stopped. That's no accident. So I don't know if you're in profit. Waiting for you in the chat to let me know if you are. But this is a definite sell zone for sure. And definitely a spot where I don't want to say dive into puts, but I don't want to be chasing a call position up here. So
Hello, can you hear
what's up,
me?
man?
Hey man, I'm sorry. I
Yep, I
was
can't.
I
What's up?
was in the kitchen and then I came back and I saw that you were looking at it. So yeah, I'm actually in the profits right now with the two that I have
Okay.
earlier. But yeah, if you think it's a sell zone, I'll sell. It's because I'm new to it. I'm new to this. I have subscribed and then I unsubscribe. Like I always come back to it, but this time I'm just gonna keep learning and sticking to it. So
Oh, we
that's
love
why I
that, man.
joined on here. And I wanted to get your opinion on it, and then that's pretty much it.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. So, like I said, man, um, when we push over, support flips resistance, resistance flips support. It's the easiest way to look at it. So, like I said, we sell down into here. If we look to the left here, we're bouncing. Buyers are trying to hold it. Like I say, whether it's weak buyers or strong sellers, we don't know. We'd have to check back in the day. But they sell down, and what do? They try and retest it, and we get that kill candle down, and they battle it out, battle it out. And we're pushing back up here, and we have two 4-hour candles that stalled out here in this red zone. So for me, whether you're up 10% or 200%, this is the clear and obvious sell zone for here.
Okay.
Plus, it's a short dated contract, so it expires this week. I
Mhm.
appreciate that honesty. What percent are you up on those, if you don't mind saying?
Let me. It took brand new queue that I just put, but the earlier one that I had done, I think it
Mm-hmm.
was about 44. I had bought it for 70. I posted it on the Discord. I
Mm-hmm.
sold it for about $135, something like that. It's not a lot of money, but for me, like I said, I only have a little bit of money in my account, seven
Oh,
hundred
dude, it's
dollars. So I'm
it's
like,
it's you against the market, man. Never be embarrassed of saying that, man. Doesn't matter.
exactly.
Doesn't
So
matter.
I'm just here to learn, and then if I take a loss, I take a loss, and then you gotta lose to win. So that's how it is.
Yep. Yeah. So definitely, I mean, clear as day. Like I said, I always tell people on my tab, I don't care if you're up 2% or 200%. Right here, this says take your profits and reposition. Also, because if you're like, hey, I'm in profit, I'm in a 105 call, I'd be like, hey, maybe trim one and see if we break this daily 200. But you're in a 120 strike. I don't want to get into it too
Mm-hmm.
much tonight, but like options Greeks are working against you. So as the
Okay.
week goes on, if you're like, hey, I'm going to hold, I want to go for more. A lot of people think, I'm not saying you, but a lot of people think, I have a 120 strike. I got to sell when it gets up to 120. Like it doesn't work that way. So you're 14, $15 out of the money. If they start consolidating here, the option Greek called theta is going to start ramping up, and you're going to close each day, at the same spot on the chart. But each day the market opens, you're gonna be like, wait, why do I have less money? Why do I have less money? Why do I have less money? It's options theta. It's the Greeks working against you. So for sure, brother, what I would do is I would sell on Tuesday, assuming we open up here at this red zone here. So if you want to take a screenshot or mental note here, this 101.27 and 103.5. If we open anywhere around here on Tuesday, sell. And
Okay.
if we push up over this level here, because we're going to clear the daily 200,
Yeah.
reposition. Then you can roll out to like a January 30th, a February, I don't know the February contracts, maybe February 6th or 8th. We call that rolling your position. So you sell for profit here, you wait for a break and retest over, and then get into something if you can, a 108, a 110, a 112, but avoid that 120. Don't
Okay.
don't just buy stuff because it's cheap. It's cheap for a
Okay.
reason, and you need a huge move up to make profit. But yeah, for sure, man, I would love for you to get some profit on that, especially being a new trader, build that confidence. Just sell it
Awesome, man.
Tuesday, and just reposition. Send me a DM or a message on TradeFloor. Say, hey, we talked about this setup. What do you think about this strike and this expiration? I'll help you best I can, but don't let that go red, brother, because you got to pat yourself on the back for a good trade, man. That's what it's all about.
I appreciate the time. I really do. Thank you.
Yep. Have a good night, man.
You too.
All right. Got that. Crash, you still in here, brother? PayPal, man. What are we doing? Are we going to swing on this? Ooh, it's below the zone. I don't know where it's going to open with the possible gap down, but PayPal, you guys, I'm trying to be patient on this one. I like this for a swing. Let me see if there's divergence still going on. I really want to learn a swing like February, March contracts. I think there is a little bit here. So it's just not holding. But what we're seeing here is, so we're seeing, if you guys don't know about divergences, is the stock price is making a low, and here's a lower low. And not the option. Get out of that. Damn it, Zoom. And there we go. The RSI, relative strength index, is making a slightly higher high. So that's telling us this sell down here is a slightly weaker sell. And it kind of makes sense. Like, yeah, we're closing a little bit lower here. Drawing mode, come on. We're closing a little bit lower here, but we're seeing buybacks. We're seeing bounces, not as deep. We're seeing buybacks recover quickly. And we're seeing closes slightly higher, slightly with a little bit more strength here. And so what I'm really looking for here is kind of some consolidation here. I want to see them close a slightly lower low, and I want to see that confirmed divergence here on the RSI, smack this level here at 30, confirming that, hey, we ticked a lower low divergence, or excuse me, RSI did not confirm that sell down. And that's kind of what I'm waiting for on the alert for a swing here because rightfully so, people get a little bit emotional when we take a swing, and the next day they're like, okay, I'm down 30%, what the hell? And so I'm trying to be very, very patient with this. Swinging is tricky. A market could look good. You're like, hey, big old engulfing candle here, and then just a kill candle down the next day. People don't like that, obviously, rightfully so. And so I'm trying to be patient on this name here. It's still weekly. Let's do it, brother. It's still a very big tradable setup. I say this probably almost daily on SPY and other names. I'm not ready for swings, but it's also a spot like you can't pay me to take puts down here just because I don't think the risk reward is worth it. We have this weekly candle here. Crash is pointing out, rightfully so. This 55, basically 56 zone here. It's one of those things where, sellers are having fun, but it's like I think their time is up to start looking short on this, at least for swings. I can day trade this on puts all day long, or not all day long, but anytime it presents itself. But to me, I just don't like swinging puts down here, but I just don't think it's ready for calls. So maybe we need Crash's blessing to just wait for a tick down into here and catch this zone here from, is this a year ago, man? Let me get out of this. There we go. This is April 7th, 2025. So maybe we just need a quick sell down here. I don't know the magic ball, what it's saying, but I'm waiting on this swing here. I like this one in DraftKings. I've been, yapping about it for a while, but I'm just not ready. But again, you guys, we're selling down into here, and RSI is a little bit higher. So a little bit of divergence here. Very, very powerful tool. Daily, weekly, kind of 4 hour, maybe 1 hour as well, but anything less than like a 1 hour, don't love it. But good spot. If you guys believe in the company, if you want to nibble on some shares down into here, how far back in the weekly? It probably lines up. Yeah, look at that weekly there. Again, don't be short, but we just may not be ready for some calls yet. So nice chart for sure. I just think this is day trade mode until maybe we get like that quick kill candle down into 56. We got there close on Friday and a couple of days prior, but you see buyers are stepping in, and buyers are stepping in for a reason. So if you guys like swing trades, any buyback over this zone here, I think is a very, very buy. So breakout, retest, boom. Don't believe me? Look at this price action here. Breakout, retest. Did we catch this move on alert? I think we did. One of these days we did. Breakout, retest, boom, it goes. That's what we want to be patient for. So we don't want to see a trickle up into here, and you take calls into here and they smack it down like this. We don't want that. So very, very tradable chart. I'm just trying to be patient with it. Sometimes I'm too patient and the train leaves without us. Let's hope that's not it. All right. Always be winning Netflix. Let's take a quick peek. We're trying to catch the bottom for weeks on this thing. I haven't looked at it in a while. Let's see. Let me get this RSI out of here for a while. Let me just check the week. I just want to see what the hell we're doing. Ooh. I'm not going to pretend we're calling a bottom because I thought 93.53 was our bottom, but let's go back in time. What is this 85.46 doing? All right, so it doesn't matter until 2024 November. Yeah. Tech is always strong. I know this thing is getting its butt whooped, but earnings are on the 20th after market close. So that's Tuesday. Ooh, Tuesday's decision day. Interesting. Yeah. This is the weekly chart. We keep, like I say, we're trying to catch the bottom, but this bottom has not been found. And we're just trickling to here. Price action is getting tight for sure. Definitely, again, one of those things. Oh, wait, Apple? What? I swear you said Netflix. Am I blind? Have I been drinking too much beer today? Apple. What's on this one? Ooh, weekly chart still here. But yeah, Netflix, I hope it pops for you guys. I know you guys are in a lot of I think Nando's and Sharks calls. Ooh, weekly chart on Apple. Interesting. And they got earnings this or freaking earnings season. I feel like it's like weekly. It comes so quick. Time flies. Earnings are 29th. I already got a little bit of time. Yeah. Same thing. Getting a little bit extended from the EMAs. Excuse me, moving averages. I like that here. I like this. I mean, we see that's going to be the battle, 255 this week. If you guys can snipe calls off that 255 for sure. To me, it's no accident where it stopped. All that price action here, just that battle back and forth, candles closing over and under, gap up, retest it and go. Then you got the earnings boost from that. Tricky with earnings coming up, but intraday here, I would definitely set alert for this. Always be winning, has eyes on this for sure. I know River's been catching it. 1, 2, what do we call that? Double bottom for sure. I do not want to be in puts down here at all. Puts, where do we get our puts? Push up to here, right there. Makes sense. Makes sense. So I push up into here. Yeah, get your put, short that move for a repeatable price action there. But down here, no way for sure. They bought some shares for sure. If you believe in the company, like I always say, I don't want to be too biased, but this spot here, green line, definitely got to try there. Weekly chart, try that. Previous all-time high, battle there, retested it. Yeah, they're going to try and hold that high for sure, 255. That slides, that 250, that 248 comes pretty quick, probably. Not saying like a day or two, but we want that to hold there. But earnings are on the 29th. Things are going to start getting tricky, guys. If you guys are new traders sitting in tonight, earnings week, always pay attention to that. Stuff is getting loaded up. Earnings, even my watch list earnings. So the next 2 weeks, alerts are probably going to be a little bit quiet and infrequent from me on that. So we just got to get that out of the way. So probably through into January, beginning of March. Tricky trying to trade. There's going to be people that get lucky on earnings and then people chase the next move and then they get smoked on the next one. Don't be that person. All right, what do we got next here? Yeah, Avenger, let's do it. DraftKings.
Can I change my name? 1K.
What's up, man?
Could I change the ticker, please?
What's?
Could
Let
we
me
go to
guess. Let me guess. KR.
No, dude, we missed that. If you take a
Toilet
look real
paper or
quick.
Tootsie Roll? What are we looking at?
No, this is a serious one.
Oh no, I thought you were being. I wasn't trying to make fun. I thought you were being serious on that. Was it Tootsie Roll or something?
Tootsie Roll, no, there's nothing there yet, but
Okay, what you got, brother?
right now, CRM. I'm looking on the daily and the weekly.
Yeah. Oh, Salesforce. I haven't done this in a while. Ooh, weekly chart here. Weekly chart here. Thick lines mean more support, conviction. Ooh, I like that. You thinking shares or like a longer swing or dip buy?
Swing, probably not
Yeah.
shares.
Yeah, for sure, man. This is that 225 flat. Let's look at recent price action for sure. I bet I don't want to toot my own horn. I bet there's some nice divergence on this hard sell. Let's see. It's like when I try and catch a dip, Avenger, anybody else watching, I like to see, is this move confirmed? Meaning, is it a hard sell? And the RSI and other indicators are confirming that. So again, guys watching this, I'm talking with my hands here because I don't know people like yellow shit like this, but we see a low and a low and a low and a low. We see an RSI, a low, a high, we'll call it break even and a break even. So it's selling hard. This is my bread and butter, guys, for trading. If we take this trade and it works out, shout out to Avenger. Again, I'm not saying YOLO calls here, but when you see a divergence into a huge support, this is like every single trade I take, the KOs from last year, the DraftKings from was that Friday. This is what I do, and I'm not just saying it to hype you guys up, but like when you see a divergence, just kind of in the middle of nowhere, you're like, okay, let's wait for it to play out. But when it comes into a huge support level, to me, this is a very, very high probability setup for a bounce play. So again, 225 here, guys, on CRM. This is a super nice setup. Again, not just saying it because it's Avenger. We talk a lot, but this is where it's at. This is a very, very nice setup. On the daily, I want to see if the move is confirmed. Yeah, it's making a lower low on the RSI and a higher low on the daily. So to me, this is where you take your shot because we have conviction here. Again, it's not just a random level here. It's where we see the most recent price action. Never made it here. What do we do? Never made here. Buyers are stepping in. What happens? We got here November. Buyers are stepping in. So again, it's one of those things. Does a call bounce have to happen? No, it does not have to happen. But do I want people swinging puts down here? Absolutely not. So it's one of those things where I don't know what's going to happen. Maybe we get a bounce. We get a sell candle for 15 minutes and then they bounce hard. Maybe they sell it down. We consolidate for 3 days, 5 days, 2 weeks. I don't know. But this is one of those spots where this is a spot to scale in where you see people kind of, maybe they catch the bottom, maybe they don't. But when you see a move like this, especially coming into Tuesday, if we start seeing 30-minute candles that look like this, I know this is going to, obviously there's 2 candles that would be closer together, but you see long wicks on the bottom side. That is sellers starting their 30-minute candle here. They're trying to sell it down. They buy it back up. They try and sell it down. They buy it back up. When you see stuff like this on the 30-minute, the 1 hour, that tells you, whether it's sellers that are just exhausted or buyers kicking in. That's the spot to take your shot on calls for sure. Again, I don't know if it's going to work. Don't come after me with pitchforks, but this is one of those spots with DraftKings, with KO. I do it over and over and over. I look for these oversold or overbought levels, and I take my shot. So again, kind of rambling. If you got to add anything here, Avenger, step in. But for sure, down here, and then we're not looking for a target up here as target 1. What are we doing? We're looking at previous price action. So hypothetically, let's just pretend this is Tuesday market open. We get our 226, 227 calls. We push up. Where's our target levels? Well, probably want to look at that wick. Probably want to look at that close. Where's the biggest volume of the day? The open, the close, generally speaking. So you think there's a lot of volume stacked here at this close? Absolutely. Target 1. Clear that. That's where your stop is. Where's our next zone? Where is all the action at Friday? All this zone here, trying to break over. Can't get on. Try and sell it down. They buy it back up. Try and break over. They sell it back down. Ultimately, power hour volume kicks in and sellers close it lower than that previous candle there. Where do you think target 2 should be? Right into here. Break over. I know I'm drawing the after hour session just for education. Break over target 2. Where's your stop out? Target 2. We push up. Think you should be looking for this low kill candle here? Absolutely. Somewhere in here on Wednesday. Target 3. We break over. Where's our stop out? Target 3. It's not going to be that easy, but again, you guys are like, okay, I get into these plays. Where do I sell at? This is what you do. You just look left at previous price action. A low, a low, a low stops. We start building. We push up. Where do we think we should sell? Those previous lows. Okay, don't make trading difficult, guys. Any questions, brother? I know I kind of rambled on about that. Sorry about that.
I was looking on the daily and I was thinking of maybe scaling half, and then if that double bottom ends up coming, would you think it's not worth holding until that double bottom, or?
You mean a double bottom here on this
Yeah,
wick?
exactly. It's a $7. It's a pretty far or a wide stop, but it depends on the date I
Yeah.
go.
It kind of depends. I know you kind of buy longer swings or a little bit longer. So, if you're buying something 2 weeks out, I'm like, hey, buy it 225. If they sell it down, I'm not holding for 222. That's $3 against me. That's going to hurt. But if you're like, hey, if it's truly a partial entry and you're like, hey, I'm in June contracts, I'm buying close to the money. That's another thing, guys. So you can't, for anyone, not just Avenger, you can't buy here at 225 and you're like, I'm going to buy a 250 contract and let it be that far out of the money, and then it sell through and you're like, wait a minute, I'm now another $4 against me. You don't want that. So what I do, on long swings, I try and buy at or in the money, not in the money, but very close to the money. So probably nothing over 230, because if they sell down, you still want to be a decent delta, decent Greeks in your favor to, hey, if I'm going to load back in here at 222, we'll just call it. You don't want to be so far out of the money that even we push up, you're like, well, shit, it's not doing anything for me because option Greeks are against me. We'll have to talk in DMs, brother. It just kind of depends on what expiration you choose. But to me, I mean, clear as day, the other step we're looking at as well on a different ticker, but like this is a buy zone. Like I said, I don't know if we're gonna get the bounce in 15 minutes or in 14 days from now, but like I see this action here and then our bottom, our bottom, our bottom, our bottom, our bottom, bottom, question mark. Like I don't take puts down here until we get a clear break under this like 222. And then as I tell you and other people, always watch the market. If we're having a shitty sell day on Tuesday and Wednesday, like back to back, maybe this holds, but then you're adding on risk of, yeah, it's a big support level, but we're super, super weak. Do you take your shot? That's where the decision time comes. But if we hold that, what I say, 686 on SPY and on whatever it is on Qs, and this is kind of holding its bottom here, like I said, we're starting to see candle bodies, wicks on the bottom. Again, I know this is not perfect charting. That's where you take your shot because it says, hey, markets are lining up on SPY. This is a big support level we talked about in class. That's where you take your shot. But if it's like ugly tariff news, this is Salesforce, maybe it follows it. I don't know. But like we gotta be choosy. We gotta be patient with the shots we take. But I would just say, send alert here, brother. See what happens. We'll talk in DMs and kind of figure stuff out when the time comes in real time. But as long as you're March, April, May, I think it's worth a shot down in here for sure, man. For sure.
Thanks, Wonka.
Yep. All right. NTLA. Never heard of it, but we're going to look at it. Sorry, took a peek at the game. You guys are my focus though, but come on, Rams. Let's take a look at the daily. Interesting. Mayhill, I think I'm saying your name correctly. Shares or options? Let's do it. I like this chart actually. Not gonna lie. And I tell people I'm honest as I can be. So this is going to be a red box. Let's just pretend it's green for a support zone, just for speed of class, because I know we're running long. I'm trying to get to as many as I can. But you see here, same theme of all night. We sell down, we kind of consolidate. They try and break higher, they sell low, we break over. So the zone is our focus. When we're over it, what do? We bounce. We're under, we start rejecting to the top side. Consolidation, we break higher. We gap over it. Let's ignore that. What are we doing here? This is very, very interesting here on NTLA Therapeutics. So I'm assuming it's something healthcare. This is a very nice setup, you guys. It doesn't mean it's got a clear runway, but there's a lot that I like here, and I'm going to show you why. You guys probably already know why, because my charting is fairly easy. So sell down through that big level here. We'll call it 1150 just for speed of class. Sell down, consolidation. It's buyers and sellers going, hey, do we want to hold this company? Do we want to hold this? What happened on earnings? Consolidation, break higher. So purely from a chart standpoint, what do we do here? We're starting to set lower highs day after day. Very, very nice trend line here. What do we have? These dashed lines, we talked about it a couple tickers ago. Daily 200, it moves slow, 200-day moving average. We are now over that. It's a flat line. Do you think that's going to act as support? Absolutely it is. So now we have this red zone here. Again, let's pretend it green, it's support. So we got this 1150 zone here that was resistance. We broke over it. It's now flipped support. We have a moving average that's going to be a flat line acting as support. And daily 9 is creeping up. It's going to move the fastest. Daily 20, a little bit slower. You have 3 moving averages that are underneath you and a trend line and a huge support zone. Yeah, I don't know what this company does. If options are very, very liquid, meaning you can buy in and out quickly, absolutely. Any back test of this 12 zone, this is gold. This is a gold mine right here for a trade for sure. Again, I don't know what this company does, but when I see a chart like this, huge zone reclaimed, all moving averages underneath you, a clear defined trend line is forming. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Basically 2 weeks of trading formed. absolutely stay long on this name. But let's not get too confident. What happens if we sell through this trend line and through this? We can look left, we know what happens. So shares and options, anything short term, use as your stop. Clear and define. 11.45 is your stop. Is a sell under that for anything bullish. So yeah, if you can buy a dip into 12 zone here. Oh, arrow. So American clinical stage biotech company focused on developing potentially curative therapeutics, leveraging. Very, very nice. Arrow's always on it. So yeah, this is going to have some risk because if clinical trials fail, you probably see shit like this, a huge gap down. Yeah, 42% haircut in one day. That's not fun. But if you can nibble a little bit, play some profits purely on a chart standpoint, again, if they got some stuff coming down the pipeline, this is a good buy zone down in here, this 12 zone here for sure. Nice setup. Very, very nice. I just did, oh, you asked a little bit ago. You're still in here. Yeah. So hopefully that helps you. DMs are always open if you have more questions on this, but super, super nice setup there. All right. All right. ANDR, JPM, or is it Citibank? Which one you want? Feel free to unmute or type it in the chat. JPM, let's do it. Oh, that's why we're running long. Oh, man. Give me 1 second. Gotta text my buddy. All right, what do we got here? We got JPM and JT. I don't want to keep you too long. So we got JPM and VZ. I think that's Verizon. And then I'm in the lecture. If you guys want to bail out, you can. That's fine. Appreciate you sticking around, but I want to get to those. Don't want you to leave you guys hanging because you guys are regulars. I appreciate it. JPM, let's take a look. Interesting. We got some sell down candles. Where are they selling? Where are they stopping? Yep. Have a good night, Avenger. We'll talk this week, brother. Want to see here where it's getting kicked down at. I want to see where it's getting bought at. Are you thinking shares or options on this, or a little bit of both? Because I'm seeing kind of in the middle of the range here, but options for sure. So this 310, this 310 is sticking out for sure. I know they kick it higher and they kick it a little bit lower, but to me, that's kind of where that pivot, that kind of that big battle is, and maybe a stop depending on just eyeballing these wicks here back and forth, back and forth. So guys that might be new to my charting, I'm hovering over at the mouse. I try and find the largest extremes, top and bottom. I'm seeing some bounces here. I'm seeing a battle here, battle, top side wicks there, some bounces, some buybacks here. Earnings are out of the way. That's good. That's good. Tricky spot here, brother. Because I like this 312, but that 310 is a better risk reward of, it's a little more obvious of a buy. But again, top side wick, top side candle close. If we close over that, I don't hate this 312.2. I don't hate that. Oh, you bought around 310. Okay, so you're in profit. Perfect. Okay, that's a little bit easier then for me to kind of coach on this one for sure. So tomorrow, if we're over this 312, I would definitely trim if you have not already. Did you trim already? Be honest, please. Don't have to tell me if you got 100 or 2 of them. Yeah, cool. Love it. So yeah, so this level here has to hold. This makes it a little easier trade steps. So we see the kick down here, the kick down. We closed over it. So that's great for you. Hopefully we don't gap down with that damn tariff news on Tuesday, but any holds over that 312, that's confident to hold more. We sell under that. I'm going to go intraday here. Hang with me. Let's see what we're looking at on the 1 hour. It's kind of bread and butter. Oh, we got these stupid candles. Damn it. There we go. So again, that 312 here, you see sell down, consolidate, close lower. We try and push pre-market, they kick it down. We try and push regular hours on Thursday, they kick it down. Friday morning, what do? They kick it down. Next candle, they engulf it. And what do? We move higher. So same thing. We're now under that. So we treat this as support. So as long as this holds, man, I think it's a safe hold for your February contracts. Any sell under that, and you have to say, okay, what percent am I willing to let go? Or if I'm willing to go back to break even, do I buy back into here and load more? So, if you're in 5 contracts, you sold 1 or whatever, you're holding however many, that's the spot you kind of got to define, how much risk you want to take on. But for me, again, I try to be very, very conservative best I can. I see price action like this. And if we sell this, I know it's on Monday, let's just pretend it's Tuesday. They sell this down Tuesday, to me, hopefully you're still in profit. I would probably close out because we're planning to come back here and just roll back into the contracts. There's nothing wrong with that. If this is hypothetically 40% up here and you sell here for 12%, big deal. You get back in here, it might be a little bit cheaper than where you bought here at this 310. But again, we are day traders, guys. Do not get mentally and emotionally married and attached to these trades. Like just, we wanted to break out. We wanted this to hold. It didn't hold. We sold back down. We're back to entry. So you just, in your mind, ignore this and go, okay, well, I entered here at 310. We're back here at 310. Why do I not want to get back in? Don't get emotional on stuff, you guys. Like, yeah, the trade didn't happen. You have February contracts, March contracts, whatever. Like, the move didn't happen. We're back to entry. Get back in. You're back to where you were on your original trade plan. You catch the move up over 312, sell again. But don't hold, break even, now deep red, and now we sell through this. You're like, okay, now I'm going to cut for 40% loss. Like, you don't do that. Like, trade the chart. There's a higher low, clear defined. So hopefully this next recent low is here. We bounce higher for you here. So that's the spot. But again, this 312, hopefully that sticks around for you. All right, I want to get to JT. Thank you for sticking around, JT. I appreciate it, man. I know you're a regular. You don't have to be here for sure, and you stuck around. Let's look at Verizon. What you got on this one, man?
Yeah, I'm in some 3950s.
3950s. Let me kill this candle right here. I hate this crap. All right. Don't know if I can get levels on this. Let me see here. Gross. Always mess up. Hopefully it doesn't crash.
It looks like it's consolidating in between some levels.
Yeah, let me see. Oh, we're getting slow on the trying to kill this wick here. There we go. All right. What day did you enter, man?
Friday.
Remember? Friday. Cool. So, yeah, interesting. Let's get some lines here because it's a new chart. Gotta love that. Let's catch this low here from October. And we're going to catch where it's kind of stopping last week. Definitely 38.3. And now we are going to zoom out and see how good or bad my charting is. Go back 10 years. Let's check it. What do we got here? Got our zone here from January. Sell down, buy back over. Ooh, I like this. I like this for sure. I'm not just saying that because you're in it. I think you're probably seeing the same thing on the daily, the weekly. Nice buybacks here from what we got here? April 2024. So again, one of those things, kind of theme of the night is, do they have to bounce it? No, they do not, but it's one of those things I do not like to be in puts here. Would you say 38.5 puts or sorry?
No, calls.
Or sorry, I mean, yeah, 38.5 calls. So you got them kind of in the money or yeah, 38.5 on.
They're right at the money right now.
Yep. And we got
and they just, did their dividends. And it on the 4 hour, it looks like it has a potential to be a double bottom.
Definitely. Oh man, these after hours candles are killing me. There we go. Yeah, for sure. Hopefully we get that close, at least like how I'm kind of looking on the 4 hour here is like we got this sell, we got this open over push higher. got to sell through it, and this next 4 hour tried to close over it and they kicked it down. To me, that's no accident. So yeah, if they, for me, my focus would be that 39 zone, short term. What expiration are they?
This Friday.
This Friday. All right. Yeah. So are you in a full position or a half or a starter?
This is a quarter position. It's not that
Quarter
much.
position.
Yeah.
So I say this with caution, but I know you're fairly experienced. So if you get a quick sell down early, I think that's a good buy-in here because you're buying that level we checked on the daily and the weekly, that 38.8. I know it's kind of quick charting, but we're seeing the buybacks there on Tuesday, Monday, whatever day that was. And so again, it's not just a buyback at a random level. I'm trying to tell people or you, but it makes sense. It has conviction, but it's a weekly. So you got to be. This is where the trading psychology comes in. We see this level here on the daily, or excuse me, the weekly chart. If we get that sell through in a candle that follows, that weekly, it could get ugly for you. So I don't know if he had plan or intentions of averaging down, but like clear as day, anyone that likes this chart, this spot to try at 38.8, we see the buys kicking in. And again, like I said, longer time frame charting, it says, and it makes sense why there's buys there. So people new to charting, you're like, well, it was going down. Why did it go down more? Well, zoom out, it makes sense. But it's a weekly. So, and shoot, we got a 4-day week, so even worse. So you do your own risk management, brother. But for me, that's an okay buy if you is a truly partial position. You want to try and get the bounce out of it, because if you take an average here and we bounce, your average down is instantly green. We start pushing that 39 I talked about, and we kind of clear this little pocket here. I know it's only a couple days, but like this pocket makes sense to me. So when I look at stuff like this, so we sell down, we got the bottom side of these wicks here, we opened over it, we pushed, and now we see again top side here, they kick it down. What do? We sell into it, top side, top side, top side, they're kicking it down. So you could get an average here, again, only if it works for your trade plan. We push up. Don't be surprised if we start seeing, some funky business in here at this 39 zone. But
Yeah,
they break,
I got
they
a
break.
zone. I got that zone right now. I
Yep,
kind of expect it to kind of chop up a little bit right in there.
yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you can, honestly, if you can squeeze out some green or break even, I think this is a really good setup. And again, I'm not just saying that because it's you. I think it's a good step to roll maybe 2-3 weeks out, early February. If you know this name, you trade it very often. Like this is a good name because let's just say you average down, you get out 10-12%, whatever, roll your contract. If they start bouncing this zone here, like to me, that's the green light to try and nibble on some calls here. And whether the bounce comes in a day or a week from now, like if you start scaling in some mid to late February contracts, I think it's a very good buy. But that 39, that's going to be pesky, man. But we clear that, start looking for that Thursday bottom here. So we clear that 39. Let's just say we open over it, hopefully for you. You don't have to average down. We push into that 39, those bottom side wicks, which lines up with that there. Target one for me. You stick to your own plan. I'm just trying to coach you here. We start looking up here. Again, just kind of these pivot zones, bottom zones here. What do? We sold down to it. They failed to break over. They kill a candle down. Next day, they bought back to it. They bought it over. We continued up. And so, 39 and a half, I think is a good point as well. So
Yeah.
it's, basically a 50-cent move in your favor. You know about option Greeks, like
Yeah.
50-cent move in that deltas. That's good for you, man.
Yeah. I kind of felt like the market punished them for that outage.
Yep. Oh yeah, that didn't hit me on what was that? Wednesday, Thursday last week. I seen some news about it, but I think I was fine on my phone. But yeah, if they can shake that off, definitely. I hope we can get on profits on that short, 4-day D. But yeah, good spot down into here to scale in for sure, brother. Does that help you?
Yeah, that helps. Besides, IWM is my bank, my main one, and I'm swung one over the weekend. I'm up 10% on that already.
Nice.
So
But yeah, do this. Anyone look at this? Like this is to me, this is the spot to nibble. I know AT&T is getting its butt whooped too, but I see something like this. I'm like, man, this kind of screams, start scaling in some calls here, a call try for sure. I'm on the weekly chart here, guys. We see bottom, bottom, bottom. It hasn't broke this bottom yet, did here the next week. So maybe I'm cheating here on my bias, but it hasn't broken the bottom. We're sitting at 2 years. This is January 8th, 2024. So, you take your shots on the bottoms and you short the tops up here. So very, very nice setup, man. Nice request for sure.
Appreciate it.
Yep. All right, y'all. We ran a little bit long, but it was worth it because we had all the regulars in here. We had some newbies. That's awesome. But I got some steak dinner. I got some beer. I got some football to watch. Love you all. I'll catch you guys all on Tuesday. I think the markets are closed tomorrow. So DMs are always open. Appreciate y'all sticking around. But let's chat on Tuesday, guys. Have a great night. Catch you all this week.